Elon Musk is now a lot more likely to sell Tesla stock because multiple companies suspended advertising on Twitter/X. For example, Apple, Disney, and many others.
IBM announcing it has pulled advertising from X or Twitter after one of its ads ran next to content praising Adolf Hitler and Nazis. The move comes a day after X owner and Tesla CEO Elon Musk amplified a tweet about an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. But he told our David Faber back in May, "I'll say what I want to say, and if we lose money, so be it." Ad revenue has declined every month since Musk bought Twitter back in October of last year. According to ad analytics firm Guideline, revenues have fallen at least 55% year over year the past 13 months, with the steepest drop being a 78% decline last December.
Elon replied with precisely, to this post, Media Matters ran a hit piece with unverified screenshots claiming ads ran next to anti-Semitic content. IBM pulled all ads on X within hours to save face. But remember the time when old Twitter did not solve its child porn issues for years, yet advertisers did not seem to care? This is all political, it's obvious. I agree with Farzad. The powers hate what this platform is doing because it goes against their ability to control the narrative. And Elon says exactly. And Elon is gonna fight this really strongly. The split-second court opens on Monday. X Corporation will be filing a thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters and all those who colluded in this fraudulent attack on our company. If you want to pause and read this, it is quite fascinating. For another brand showcasing the article, 2 of its ads served adjacent to 2 posts 3 times, and that ad was only seen in that setting by 1 user, the author of the Media Matters article. And someone updated Elon's Wikipedia page, which now says that Elon is a conspiracy theorist. Luckily though, that has been removed today. Elon is going against some powerful people, and I would expect a lot more attacks on Elon in the future. So Elon is suing their board, their donors, their network of dark money, all of them. Imagine being so dim and blinded by your desire to deceive that you perpetrate brazen fraud to mislead the public and are so daft that it doesn't occur to you that you are committing fraud on a tech platform which logs data/activity which disproved your lies. This will be an interesting development to watch. And if Elon sells more Tesla stock because of this whole controversy, I'll just buy more. Just like I did last December. Good memories. Tesla's best advertisement would be a new CEO, says Meet Kevin. Musk is a great visionary and engineer. I believe he has nothing but the best of intentions. However, Tesla needs a Tim Cook-style CEO ASAP. Elon should not be the business face. Tim Cool in the front, Wozniak/Elon in the back. He's referring to Steve Wozniak, who co-founded Apple with Steve Jobs. I completely 100% disagree with that. I can respect Kevin's take, but it is a stunning take. I think Gary is a lot closer to the truth here of what would be best. Elon Musk stepping down as Tesla's CEO would not be good for Tesla's stock. He is the product and manufacturing visionary and a magnet for top engineering talent. I would like to see Elon hire a world-class chief operating officer who can help him run the business, challenge him when he is wrong, and complement his engineering and product skill set. But we have to let Elon be Elon, and most institutional investors would not be happy if he stepped down as CEO. I agree he needs a stronger board of directors, says Gary. At least on the surface, hiring a chief operating officer sounds like a fairly good idea. Now, one possible downside of that is all of the people within Tesla that think that, oh, maybe one day I could be a CEO of Tesla. These people then would maybe no longer really think that, because a COO would be a more likely candidate for the CEO position. But it would be good to have another face that represents Tesla, so that when Elon Musk inevitably has another controversy, the public would not have such a strong association with Tesla and Elon. I'm just thinking out loud here. This may not be the best idea, but it is something to think about. Largely, to many people, Tesla is still basically Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is Tesla to many people. As a Tesla stock investor, it is difficult to ask for better news than this. Jim Chanos is shutting down his fund after 40 years. More recently, Chanos has struggled to turn his pessimistic positions into profits. His firm manages less than $200 million today, down from $6 billion in 2008. He lost so much money shorting Tesla stock. He even blocked Sawyer, and Sawyer is, I mean, he doesn't say anything vulgar ever. Why would you block Sawyer? I mean, you're shorting Tesla stock and you're blocking the person that posts news about Tesla stock, like the #1 person for almost a real-time Tesla stock news. That's just dumb. But hey, look, people that short Tesla help us buy Tesla stock at cheaper prices. So I guess I should say thank you, Jim Chanos. So today's a big celebration to all of us Tesla stock investors that Jim Chanos is shutting down his funds. The guy had a maximum short on Tesla back in April of 2020. That was when Tesla stock was trading at $32 per share. He was also shorting Tesla stock in January of this year. It's a really bad idea to short Tesla stock when it's trading under $150, $170. I think there are 2 big regrets you can really have in your life. #1 is not using a bidet. I regret that. I should have started using that earlier. But #2 is shorting Tesla stock. I've never done that, so I'm really happy about that. So don't short Tesla stock because you will end up in a stinky and sticky situation.
Well, we think the equity is worthless. So how's zero?
How's zero, Dennis?
If Jim Chanos had invested just $1 billion of his $6 billion in Tesla at IPO and stayed in the stock, then his firm would have at least $200 billion by now. This is really good. Someone is generous enough to do a paid video ad for Tesla in China. In a recent ad campaign launched by Zeekr, subsidiary of Geely, the complete lineup of sexy is showcased in the first 10 seconds before they bring out their own new, supposedly Tesla-beating vehicle. People generally don't have patience to watch a video ad for more than 10 seconds, so most likely in the first half of the ad, before skipping it, all they see are Tesla vehicles. This is an actual screenshot of the ad. You don't want to miss this story. There is a strike going on in Sweden right now, and these are Tesla employees. And why are they not showing their faces? Well, they are supposed to be on strike, but they are not. You know what this vest right here says? The vest says, "Thank you, we are fine." The employees said that they received threats from the union, so that's why they are not showing their faces. They are afraid of the union. Owner's manual reveals more details about Tesla supercharger congestion fees. Congestion fees will only apply when the station is 100% full and your vehicle's battery charge exceeds the congestion limit. There's a grace period of 5 minutes, but Tesla doesn't specify exactly until how much can you charge your battery before you get charged these congestion fees. It's presumed to be 80%, although it's possible that it could vary depending on the level of congestion change over time, or even vary depending on the model's charging curve, as well as perhaps how close are you to another supercharger that is not congested. Also, Tesla recently changed the recommended daily charging level for most of their vehicles from 90% to 80%, which could be partially due to these new congestion fees. Because if your charging limit is set to 80%, if you stop and charge at a supercharger and it's already set to 80%, you will not get surprised by extra congestion fees. Tesla is currently deploying a new FSD version, and some people are wondering, why is Tesla still updating version 11? Why doesn't Tesla just focus on version 12? And you have to understand that Tesla collects data from FSD 11 still. And if people don't use it as much, then that means that Tesla is not getting more data. So it is in Tesla's best interest to still keep improving FSD version 11, because then more people will use it, which means there is going to be more data for version 12, and version 12 still needs more data. At least that's one plausible theory. But I do have to say that I am a bit less enthusiastic to try a new FSD version after we have found out about version 12, because I know, oh, this thing is going to be obsolete very soon, so I'm not that interested in trying this new update. But I'm very excited about version 12. I want to try that. There's a strong hint that FSD is coming to Australia and Germany soon. This message is seen in the German owner manual, as well as the Australian version of the manual. So you can see it's Tesla's website, Model X owner's manual. And the message says, as full self-driving beta deployment expands, Tesla will gradually make it available to eligible customers in select countries outside the United States. So probably more than just Australia and Germany. Because every country contains unique infrastructure, driving behaviors, and traffic patterns that full self-driving beta must adapt to over time, it is essential for drivers using FSD beta in newly eligible countries to be extra attentive and overly cautious. So my European and Australian friends, please be careful when you first use FSD in your country. Nikola CFO is resigning to pursue other opportunities less than a year after joining the company. They just did some impressive Cybertruck testing. Yes, there is a person inside of that, and they're gonna put the Cybertruck through quite a bit of water, as you will see here in just a moment. Yep. And they actually did it for a little while. It wasn't just, 2 seconds. So that was a pretty cool test to look at. Also, for the first time, someone just saw a Cybertruck in Canada. As a Canadian, I love seeing this. We have seen multiple automakers say that the demand for EVs is not great right now and therefore they are slowing down, but Hyundai and Kia are pulling ahead actually. Senior executives from the Korean automakers told Reuters they are seeing strong demand for electric vehicles in the US. I think Hyundai is a company for all of us to keep an eye on. Kia launches a $20,000 EV5 electric SUV in China to rival leaders BYD and Tesla. Although local reports expected starting prices of around $40,000, Kia is launching the EV5 at half that. The EV5 officially launched Wednesday with a starting price of $20,700. It is smaller than the Model Y, but not by a lot. It's maybe about this much shorter. Here is the interior, and it has a 64 kilowatt hour battery. For comparison, a standard range rear-wheel drive Model 3 has a battery pack of about 60 kilowatt hours, and this is the long range model.
And my job is to invest in great companies, and many of my clients care about what they own. And so when I have to spend my day basically either talking people out of Tesla stock, or in a lot of cases, I just can't talk them out of it anymore.
I saw quite a few people talking about Ross Gerber basically saying that he is spending time talking people out of Tesla stock. I am quite sure that he misspoke, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of this. I'm going to move on, but I thought you should know. The main reason why I think he misspoke is because he just actually bought more Tesla stock. Today, an important rocket was launched. SpaceX's Starship rocket, the largest and most powerful rocket ever, successfully lifted off today. Such an incredible piece of engineering and moment for humanity. Big congratulations goes to the SpaceX team. This is an incredible accomplishment. The mainstream media, though, said that the SpaceX second Starship test flight ends in another explosion. When Starship finally separated and began flying on its own, I thought, yeah, we just changed the course of history. But it exploded! Lots of great things actually happen, and such a smooth launch should mean a relatively quick turnaround for the next test flight. So overall, it's a huge success. It's like people looking at the original Roadster from Tesla saying, oh, but look at the panel gaps. Yeah, but it's an EV, and it works, and it's fast. And sure, there's fire or explosion, but in the end, there is a lot of progress made here.
Joining me now to discuss what's next for Musk, Twitter, and the rest of his empire is Slow Ventures' Sam Lessin. Sam, what's the thought in the Valley about all of this?
I mean, isn't it kind of business as usual? Like, I think it's really disappointing to see these words from Musk. Musk has a history of saying some pretty outlandish and pretty awful things. I think the reality is that he owns Twitter outright. And, the only thing that changes how Musk behaves is the price of Tesla stock. So, if people don't like it, they should sell Tesla stock. It's nice that IBM pulls, other people might pull, but he can afford to float this forever.
So, and I saw, Sam, your thoughts that, there's only a couple of ways to exert pressure here, and that is sell your Tesla. That's really the only publicly traded one. If you're an employee, you say then quit, even if you're part of the broader Musk empire. I mean, is the idea that everyone is feeling frustrated with his behavior and just can't seem to find a way to get him to stop it, even as it seems to be self-sabotage?
Yeah, I mean, the way I think about it is I actually am a huge freedom of speech believer. And I think a lot of the principles that Musk, kind of bought Twitter on, being like, this should be an open, free forum. People should say what they believe. I'm with him on all of that. I mean, part of what's frustrating about Musk is he's not totally wrong about everything. But I think part of the unintended calculus there is you empower a voice who says some pretty terrible things all the time, with very little sense of consequence. It's good that he's so rich and powerful that he can't be swayed. It's bad that he's so rich and powerful that really nothing is going to affect how he then chooses to speak himself, other than one, doing what public market people can do, which is don't own Tesla, right? That's the only thing he cares about that matters financially. Or two, if you are an employee, that used to be that Musk is not known as a great employer, but he had the coolest companies to work on. If you want to be in space, you work at SpaceX. If you want to work on electric cars, you worked at Tesla, no matter what, because that's where the mission was. But the world is changing. Those engineers have other options now they didn't have before, and they should take them.
It makes a bit more sense after you understand that Sam, the guy that was just speaking, is a pretty rich guy who also backed this rocket company. So it does make sense to say things that will not sound nice about your competitor. Either way, it is pretty clear that he does not like Elon Musk based on how he's talking here. And yet he admits that if you want to work on EVs, Tesla is the best company. If you want to work in the space industry, SpaceX is the company to go work for. In other words, there is not that much damage that has been done, or at least not enough to convince people to no longer work at SpaceX or Tesla. We don't really see news stories, thousands of people are leaving Tesla because of something that Elon Musk said. And Tesla employs over 100,000 people. We have some good news for Tesla investors here. A US judge has dismissed an antitrust lawsuit accusing Tesla of forcing customers to pay high prices and suffer long waits for repairs by monopolizing the markets for vehicle maintenance and replacement parts. The judge said the proposed class action failed to show either that the alleged problems were not generally known when they bought their vehicles or that they could not predict the cost to keep their vehicles running. She also said customers could not prove that Tesla coerced them into using its services and parts simply because they had bought their vehicles in the first place. The CEO of OpenAI, which basically runs ChatGPT, the CEO was fired. The official statement from the company says that the board no longer has confidence in his ability to continue leading OpenAI. Wow. If you're looking for evidence that AI eliminates jobs, look no further. Mr. Altman's departure follows a deliberative review process by the board, which concluded that he was not consistently candid in his communications with the board, hindering its ability to exercise its responsibilities. Sources say that the board told Sam Altman 30 minutes in advance before firing him. My guess is that Elon Musk secretly feels really happy about this because Elon Musk co-founded OpenAI for it to be open source, and now it's closed source basically, and for it to be non-profit, but it's basically a for-profit organization now. And Tesla investors should know about this problem. This is a new exclusive video that's available on my Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you will get access to how much I think it is fair to pay per Tesla share each year between 2023 and 2033. If you sign up for the investor tier of support, you will also get my valuation model of Tesla stock with a 45-minute video walkthrough. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this video yet, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.